5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to What's the Dillies podcast. What's the Dillies is a podcast I created to bring the dance community closer together by bringing you behind the scenes and into the minds of my favorite dancers in hopes that can help you on your dance journey and can maybe help in your life too. For today's guest, we have someone that has danced for Notorious Dance Company, ID Co, soon to be UOA alumni. Oh, graduate. Mount Roskill alumni. Shout out to Mount Roskill. We've had like 2 Mount Roskill guests in the last few weeks.
Woo!
The Latina queen herself.
Oh my gosh.
Hailing all the way from Venezuela.
Wow.
If you don't know who she is, she's a rising star. And that's about to do some great things. So everybody, welcome to the pod. Maria Victoria Medina.
Wow.
Ooh. Did you like that?
I love that. That was the best introduction ever.
Cool.
That was amazing. You really did your research.
I mean, I did a bit of research, but then I was just like, well, I've known her for a while. Let's just pull up all the things I know about her. Okay, she's been Mount Roskill.
And you got my country, right?
I mean, it's in your Instagram bio too.
I know, yeah. People don't really associate the two.
Really?
Yeah, I had a uni lecture.
Yeah.
She's been teaching me for the last 3 years. And only this year she found out that I'm from Venezuela.
I mean...
That was so disappointing to...
I mean, did you ever tell her or did she ever
I
ask?
write it on my essays.
Oh, you write on your essay?
I include it. I like to think it's part of my essence or whatever, or it just... I don't know.
Yeah.
But she was like, do you speak Spanish? And I was like... yeah.
That's what my whole essays have been about. You've been reading them?
Yeah, like I would have essays about how it would be different to, I don't know, talking about home in New Zealand and you would think that if she's told me for the last 3 years, she should know.
Maybe she just skims through them. Oh, that's
I don't know. That just kind of shows.
How was the transition from Venezuela to NZ? Because when did you come here?
I moved when I was 16 years old. 5 years ago. Yes.
Whoa, shit.
5 years ago. I turned 5 years in September.
Damn.
The transition?
Yeah, you're that's more than half your life spent in Venezuela to come here.
Yeah. I think people don't realize that.
What was the reason for the move, by the way?
Basically, it's something I really don't talk about because I think I'm quite private and close in that sense, but also just having to explain it to people that don't really care is why bother? But pretty much my country at the moment and for the last 21 years, it's been going through really rough time. It has the biggest humanitarian crisis, social, political, anything you can think of crisis. No quality of life whatsoever. It is one of the worst places in the world to live.
Damn.
And it's been like that for years. Millions of Venezuelans have left Venezuela for that reason, and that's why I'm just one of them. It's just, I could tell you all the things that are wrong and we could just have a whole podcast about it itself. Yeah. But the transition's just been, it hasn't been the easiest. It hasn't been the worst either. I know compared to so many people, I've had it sort of good. But still, there's been a lot of things that me and my family have been through that happen behind the scenes that we just have to push through and get through. But yeah. Does that answer the question?
Sorry.
No,
I think we started off a bit too hard on that question. Sorry.
Nah, it's good. It's nothing sad I'm gonna cry about. It's just those things that you accept. But everything happens for a reason, and I'm here, and I'm happy I'm here. And New Zealand has, I've met some amazing people. My partner, including like my other half, Anton, and you know, I get to dance.
Yeah.
I discover like a bigger passion and love for dance, so it's good stuff.
Did you always know you were gonna be a dancer, or did you find that out coming here? Because did you dance before, or?
I did dance back home, and it's always been there. But no, I didn't think I was going to pursue that as a career or as like my life pathway. Because just like probably everywhere, but especially in Latin America, it's not really a thing that is well respected, or we have a very like fixed mentality in terms of, okay, you finish uni and you finish school and then you have to go to uni and you have to study something that's gonna make money.
Wow.
Something that's gonna give you stability and a house and a car and so even myself, I didn't think dance was gonna get me anywhere.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm not gonna do that. It's just on the side. Yeah.
So what made that whole transition for you to be like, I want to study dance at uni and I want to make a career out of it? Because
I think it was mainly my mom.
Really?
I know, and it sounds like you wouldn't think your parents would be there.
Yeah. Sure.
But I'm so lucky I have a mom that's so open-minded, so supportive, and for years she's been encouraging me to study arts and dance, and she was like, why are you going to do anything else if this is what you love, what you want to do? Yeah.
Holy crap, your mom's like awesome.
I know.
Dude, that's an insane support system you have.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Wow. It's damn, that's so bizarre, because like the way that you explained like how your culture views how you should live your life versus how your mom's teaching you here. Wow. Would have never guessed that.
Yeah. I guess the only thing that came with is like, for her, I would have to go to uni for my parents. Yeah. But I think also the way I was brought up, I always saw uni as a thing that I had to do. And I really am a strong believer that education is, power, knowledge, which I guess is a bit controversial. But I do believe that uni can open, or has opened my mind to so many things that I didn't know. So I'm happy I did it. Yeah. And yeah, I'm good. I liked it. I loved it.
Were there other factors that contributed to like, because your mom's a big one, huge one.
Yeah.
She's one of your, she's your mom,
Yeah.
One of the biggest influences in your life. But have there been any other like people in the dance community here, or even like not here, but like that have just inspired you to be like, yo, I really want to do this?
I think when I first got to New Zealand, just try to put yourself in the situation where you're like, and this is one of the beautiful things about being new, is that you come to a space with no expectations. You don't know anything. You don't know anyone. And you fully get to observe something by like what it is. You don't really have like a meaning or anything associated to it. And that's what happened when I came to New Zealand. When I got into the dance scene and I started taking classes and going to events, I saw everything for what it was and I fell in love with it. Like, to me, New Zealand, I was just blown away by the talent, by the opportunities, by the things. It was insane. And I was like, for a couple of years, I was like, wow, this is insane. Like, the people, the values, the community. I was like, this is where I have to be. Yeah. So I think for me as well, it was like, where else am I going to do this, Like, if not New Zealand. Yeah. This is like where it's at, if that makes sense.
Crazy. Do you still feel that way now? Like, do you still feel that, because it's been like, 5 years since then?
Yeah.
Happy 21st, bro. Oh, wait, has that happened yet?
My 21st? Yeah, in June.
In June? Wait, you're 20?
21. Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Yeah, I turned 21 in June.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, wait, 20 what? How did you finish uni?
But I'm 21,
yeah.
21.
Yeah, like, because that's been like 5 years ago, so do you still feel that same way now, or do you want to branch out, or like what's that? You know.
Tricky question. Do I still feel the same way? I think I do. However, now I've been in the scene. I've been with people and I've discovered certain things that maybe I'm not the biggest fan of.
Oh.
But
Spill the tea.
I guess sort of seeing the true colors kind of thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't take away from the fact that it's a beautiful community.
Yeah.
But it's just like everything in the world, you know. Yeah. Not everything is all rainbows and butterflies. Wait, what was the question again?
Do you still feel that same love? That was the first part that you answered. And the second part was, do you want to branch out now?
Yeah. So I think one of the things I've discovered is that the New Zealand dance community is quite small and it's still growing. And in the last couple years, especially like maybe the last 2 or the last year or so, I found myself or understood that I was putting my culture and my identity so behind for so many years and hiding who I was because I was scared of not being accepted and not being... It's not even about being accepted, it's just that because even New Zealand itself, it's such a small country, you know, it's an island, isolated from a lot of the things that are happening. A lot of people don't know where I come from or understand like even simple like geography, and so just the process of having to explain like, I'm from Venezuela, where's that? South America. Oh, you're from America. No, I'm not from America, you know. South America, it's a whole nother thing itself. And in Latin America, and I speak Spanish. Why do you speak Spanish? Are you Mexican? Are you from, like, do you speak Mexican? Like, all these things that I just, for so long, I was like, I just can't. I'd rather avoid that and just, if you know, you know, and if you don't know. So for so long, I was just trying to be something that I guess everyone else wanted me to be, or what I thought I needed to do or dance like or move like or act like to fit in. And now that I've sort of moved away from that, I really stand out and I'm really different and I move differently and I think differently. And lately I've been thinking, is there room for people like me in the community right now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And we already know that a lot of success is very linked to like clicks and like cloud and social media, and I don't know if I need that to be successful here or anywhere in the world. And I don't know, I'm in that journey of discovering myself and what I need to do to just not fit in, but just be me, be confident about myself, be unapologetic. And I'm not sure if I can do that right here, right now. So my plans, I really want to travel and I really want to go closer to home. I can't go home because that's impossible, but be with my people, language, food, weather, something closer. So I can build those values and those things again, and then maybe come back and be more ready. Because I think just right now, I don't know if I'm ready and if New Zealand's ready for me. Just at the moment, maybe. That's kind of where I'm at.
Well, thank you for sharing. Holy, it's
a lot.
I mean, that's a lot, but it's like, I don't know. It's just so wonderful to hear. I mean, like, just your whole journey. Because I think even back when I first met you so I first met Vicky at Bindi Tuesdays. I actually didn't know who she was before then. Like, even though she danced with Notorious, I don't think like I've ever seen Notorious like properly. But at Bindi Tuesdays, when you can see like people and groups and stuff, I even messaged you back then like ages ago. I don't know if you remember. Probably don't. Yeah, but I even messaged her back then, right? Because she was like, there was like a way that you moved that was like really like natural and like that just said a lot about where you kind of came from, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and even though you were trying to hide that, like, I mean, even though you said you were trying to hide that, for me, it was like, I could still see that because you stood out for me and that whole group of Bindi Tuesdays because, well, to be honest, they all looked kind of similar to each other. No hate, but like, if you train under Bindi and like, Bindi does ID, so if you just train under her, you're gonna look like her. But,
Yep.
you know, you looked like, you had like your own flair about you, your own flavor, and I was like, dude, that's crazy, right?
Wow, that was so long ago.
Yeah, that was so long ago, but you still had it, and to see you come to where you're at now is like, wow. Yeah, especially in this last year too, like it's like wow. Yeah, dude, good job,
Wow,
bro.
this last year.
Yo,
I
holy.
think for everyone, it's been like a big year of growth. Insane.
Yeah, what have you been the most proud of this year?
Wow, what a question. I don't know if I can pick like a thing, but I think if anything, I'm just most proud of myself for getting here, not for making it through. I feel like this was nothing compared to other stuff me and my family have gone through, but the growth I've done, not only dancing wise and moving, but just like mentally, spiritually, to a sense, maybe, if you want to call it, but just where I'm at, where my values are at, the people I'm surrounded with, my thinking, that's where I want to be. You know, I don't want to, I want it to expand, but I don't want it to change and turn into the opposite. Like, this is the Victoria I want to be, the one that thinks like this, the one that loves like this, the one that is passionate like this, you know. So I think that would be the thing I'm most proud of. Maybe? Yeah,
that's dope. That's to be proud of.
Yeah. It's been a year, a crazy one.
How did you? Sorry, did I cut you off?
No, don't cut me. I didn't have anything.
Let's see. How did you feel about the transition from obviously just physical to online teaching, and like, do you feel like online teaching has its place, or?
I think
because you have done online programs, right, this year.
Yeah. I think it does have its place. Just being in uni, I obviously had to look at a lot of like, what's that called? Like, like online learning and all of that. And one of the things I found out is that in order for you to engage in like online learning, you need to be very good at time management. You need to be very good at like just having your thing together. And I think that was one of the big things that maybe a lot of people had trouble with. Because I know when it was normal, like, I would just go to the bus, go to uni, go to class, that's it, you know?
Yeah.
But something as simple as, like, having to wake up and then, like, you know, not having really necessarily the need to put on, like, my clothes or something. Like, I could just stay, or having to have breakfast, like, and just going to my living room, like, that was hard. But I don't know. I don't think I quite got the grasp on like online learning, but I think it does have its place. And now, especially if you look at the whole world and how a lot of people are still on hold, there's just so much opportunity to now to connect with people that you would have never in your life think of connecting. And I did it for 4 months. I trained with Modus Dance Company, which is run by Diana Matos, an amazing commercial dancer. She's more than a commercial dancer. Like, she's from Portugal, but based in the States at the moment. Training with her was amazing, and I wish I got to do that whole experience so much better. But because we're in New Zealand, that was at 5 a.m, so trainings were. And yeah, if you don't have your thing together, it's really hard to engage in those kind of programs because it's not as easy as just, okay, putting your training clothes and driving to the studio. Yeah. Be there, go home, that's it. it's a whole nother thing. It's like you fully have to push yourself. You don't have anyone around you to help you build that energy. You're fully relying on yourself, and you're seeing the person through a little screen, and you're just hoping that you two get to, I don't know, connect, even though she's in LA at 10 a.m. and I'm in New Zealand 5 a.m. the next day, you know? So that was hard, but I think one of my goals is I definitely want to go back into it. Create a routine, a schedule for myself, so I can, okay, I go to sleep at this time.
Yeah.
I wake up at this time. I do the thing. What happens after? You know, it's that online learning and all of that is really about having a routine, time management. Because, you know, if you think about our normal lives, especially if you're involved in like the dance community, going to classes or whatever, you arrive home at such like random times.
Yeah, hard.
9, 12, 1. So I would never have a set sleeping time. And having to set one so I can wake up at the right time, get this good amount of sleeping hours so I can actually pay attention to the class and not be like dying. It's hard. It's tricky. And it was something none of us were ready for. And it's a whole nother skill set that needs to be developed. Online learning, time management, self-awareness. Ugh. Sorry, that's my mom just talking
All good.
in the background. Yeah.
Did you feel like you achieved that connection with Diana? Oh wait, did I say her name right?
Diana.
Okay, sweet.
Or you can just call her D.
D.
I think I did, but no. In a sense that more or less, I don't know if it would have been different in person. Because, you know, I'm quite shy if I don't know anyone, you know. I don't talk or say much. And I wasn't like always turning on my microphone and be like, let's go on. No, I was just taking everything, you know. And I did get to have like one-on-one conversations with her. And she brought up some questions about myself that I didn't know needed to be answered. And the only thing she asked me was like, who are you? And I was like, what? Yeah. It's like, yeah, who are you? It's like, I don't know. And just that, it was like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Like, I've never been so, like, blanked in my life. So I did make that connection, but I also wasn't able to give her a lot of information about myself because I don't know who I am. And that translates to my dancing, and that translates sometimes to my practice. And that's one of the things I mentioned before. I need to find that. And I explained to her, like, it's hard, it's difficult when you're in a place where you have nothing that reminds you of home or close to home. I only have my family, my dad, my brother, and my mom. And this year we've been separated, so that, like, impacted the thing. I don't have my language, my food, music, all those little things that we take for granted that you would ever think you need, I don't have. And that has impacted me and my identity. So, yeah, when she asked me that, I don't know and I can't tell you, and it's not going to happen overnight, and it's probably going to take years for me to figure it out. That's when I link it up to that whole thing. Maybe I need to go away for a bit. I need to go somewhere it hits a little bit closer. And maybe I won't like that. No, maybe if I go, I'll miss New Zealand and be like, I have to be back. But I think I need to go to know and then see. Yeah. That doesn't relate to the question about her.
No, that's okay. That's fine. That's fine, man. Like, I love hearing you talk, bro.
Oh, thank you. So, I don't know. It's just this whole year. I don't want to like dwell on or anything, but
it's okay.
It's a lot of like discoveries and it just shows you that you never know what's gonna happen. Like, there's not such thing as like stability or security. Like none of us would ever know that something like this would happen, or like even what my family has been through. My mom studied for years and has all these like degrees, and she would have never known that she was gonna have to leave her country and move somewhere else. It just shows that you can't really predict things or plan, and you're just gonna have to sort of take it day by day and make sure you're always doing what you love and what you're passionate about, and that you're happy. Always making sure you're happy first. Making time for yourself and for the people you love. That's one of the biggest lessons of this year.
Yeah.
If not, you're gonna go crazy. You will. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Sorry, I'm like so uncaptured right now because
Aw.
I've never heard Vicky talk like this. Like honestly, our interactions inside
I know.
in our own realm that we share together in the dance realm, like our interactions are never this like deep. And like I never get to know you, bro. Like I know you from afar, and I think that you're dope. But times like this when I can like be up close and just get to know you and about you, it just gives me like a whole new level of like, damn, bro, like this girl's crazy. This girl's on her way, man. She's a star.
Oh no.
Alright, we're gonna break up this well, we're just gonna switch up the tempo a bit.
Ooh.
So this is a new one I've done. So you're gonna reach into the back. This is called Hot Topics, guys. I might be bringing this as like a single part series soon later on.
Ooh.
But
This is where I get to talk smack.
no. You just pick a topic. So I put topics in the bag. She just picks one out when we talk about it.
Okay.
Or you just give us your thoughts on it. I don't know. I might have already said some, but maybe just have a look.
Dance politics. Oh, thoughts on power hierarchy in the dance scene. Wow, that's a topic. That is a hot topic.
Yeah. Actually, thanks. Shout out to Anton. Anton helped me out with that one when I was asking him for help for your one.
Oh.
Yeah, because he mentioned that you had your own thoughts on the power hierarchy in dance, and I guess I've never really thought about it, so I'd like to hear your ideas on it.
I think the way to start this, dance politics. I think politics and political is a word that we tend to associate with like actual politics, like government and etc. etc. And that's not what it is at all. And I think maybe there's not such thing as dance politics. I think dance is political. Just like a lot of things are political. And for me, this is just for me, this is not a definition. This is me. Yeah. But when I think about politics and something being political, I see it as a thing that has multiple layers in terms of different ways of viewing it. So something that might be right for you might be wrong for me.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I see politics. A thing that has multiple layers to it, and people are going to see it different ways. And when we think about power hierarchy in dance, there's so many things that we don't even notice. And I think maybe the thing I'm most passionate about is probably gender roles within dance. Being a female of color, a minority group, a brown female, that's the same as a female of color, but it's tricky, and I think, I'm a bit of a feminist, but I think the dance industry is very male dominated. And I've been in different dance scenes and like different kind of things, and even though we don't see it, it's there.
Yeah. And
I think you only see it when you feel it and when you experience it. So I've had a lot of scenarios where I don't feel like I belong. Because I'm a female, because of, there's just so many things I could go do you want me to talk about like a specific maybe?
I mean, that's up to you. You want to talk about as much as you want to talk about. I'm not here to
Oh
try.
no.
Yeah.
I think and even looking at dance as a whole, and maybe this relates to like tokenism and stuff, but especially in a country like New Zealand, a Western society where we want to be diverse and whatever, or we try to, you know, this whole idea of like, we want the boy to dance because dance is a girl thing, right? So we're going to do everything we can to encourage boys to dance because we should have boys and dance. Too many girls, you know? And that's a thing that I've seen a lot at uni, in classes, and in crews. You're not going to give the boy a solo. You're going to give a boy a spotlight. You're going to give the boy... just so he doesn't... he keeps dancing, if that makes sense. So we want to do everything so boys stay dancing, and that's okay. I get it. I mean, when we talk about gender and stereotypes that are associated with it, you know, boys don't want to dance because it's a girl thing and this and that, but I think it's all about balancing out and making sure we encourage everyone regardless their gender, and we do give people merit and credit, not based on your color or your gender or anything, but your hard work and your passion and all of that. Like, I feel like often I am undermined just because I'm a female, and yeah, and this is seen like firsthand with, you know, I go out with Anton, and it's tricky because we're both dancers in the community, and this is not to like take anything from his work. Like he's worked very hard and he's amazing and he's done so many things, but often we've been put in like comparison, and people often put him above me because you just tend to associate, I don't know, maybe you want to associate hip-hop more with him than me because I'm a female and he's a man, so he probably knows more than me.
That's weird. That's so weird.
Or we want to put him in the poster or in the face because, you know, he's the boy and he's big, and we want to show that, and maybe not me because, yeah. So, yeah, it's been tricky to like, okay, because if you think about when we first started, for so long, I was never seen as Victoria. I was always Anton's girlfriend. Oh. And I hated that.
Damn, that's rough, dude.
I hated that. I hated that. That was my term. Yeah. I didn't have a name in the community. I didn't have a name to people. I was Anton's girlfriend.
Dude, that's horrible.
And this was for the first years, and I let it happen. I allowed it. I was like, that's okay. That's how it is, you know? I'm his decoration. I am him to be his hype woman, and my greatest accomplishment in life is to go out with this amazing dancer. And, you know, the first years were rough in terms of, like, I had someone come up to me and say, you should not go out with him. Oh. Because he's going to leave you when he finds someone that is up to his level dancing-wise.
Bruh. Who the fuck's saying this? That's fucked.
Not gonna expose anyone.
No way.
But I got told that. I got told that I was too beautiful. I could be with anyone.
No way.
Because that's it. That's all I can be. I can be beautiful and I can be with any man that I want. And he's going to eventually leave me when he finds someone that is his level, dancing-wise.
How?
And at that moment, I couldn't process that. I was like, what just happened? But being told that stayed with me for so long, because that's just wrong. Like, you.
Sorry that happened to you, bro. No, I'm having trouble. That's messed up, bro. That's so messed up. I'm so sorry that happened to you.
It's fine. it's in the past, but it's something that stayed with me, like, and this is just because I see it firsthand, having a male partner, someone that identifies as a man, and he's a dancer, and we're in the same scene. I see it firsthand, like I see it right there. So, and it's those subtle things, or like, if we are together and we create something together, people are more likely to think he did that by himself. You know? Like, another story was like, for example, when we just started dancing together, we did a gig, and this is a gig I got through a friend.
Yeah. Right.
And I was the one that got it. And they told me to find someone to dance with, and I asked him, right? So, and we did a couple of gigs with him, and then it was like the second time we performed, or maybe the second time or first time. And the announcer, he said, okay, now let's give it up for Anton.
Oh.
Anton is a dancer that has 3,000 Instagram followers on Instagram. He's amazing, blah, blah. They didn't announce my name at all. They just said his name. And I just went on with him, you know? And it's those things, like I told you, people are more likely to associate things with him because he's the man, you know? And that's something I can't change, unfortunately. It's just how society works. And it's not just in dance, it's in life a lot of the times. We just think, man. But it's a thing that I'm really trying to work on, and I've realized that when it comes to equality, there's not such thing. And there's never going to be such thing as equality. And in order for me to be equal to even my partner Anton, or probably other male dancers in the industry, is that I have to stand above them. So people see us as equal. So I am here, but to everyone else will be here. But I know that I have to constantly be training harder, putting in more hours, doing the things, so people do see us here. And that's what I've been trying to do. And now people do see me as Victoria, you know? But it was like a lot of work I had to put, so people didn't just associate my name with him. And that my biggest accomplishment in life was to go out with this amazing dancer. He's amazing. I love him. That's one of the reasons why I love him. So passionate, hardworking. Me too, you know? And that's why we're together. And yeah, we are a thing, but he is also Anton and I'm also Victoria. And I'm not just his girlfriend. So that's what I mean. Like, this is just the closest experience I have when it comes to gender roles. But when we talk about power hierarchy, like, there's so many other things that get to it. I think this is the one that I can talk about because it hits closer to me. And I can actually tell you experiences.
Bro, that's actually so many things. Oh wow, dude, holy shit, so many things to process there. But man, it sucks because like you guys, like, you both work so. Like, I follow both of you guys. I follow all your stories. And it's just like, bro, you guys both work so hard, and you can see it in your dancing as well. Like, just how much you've grown from like where you were to how you guys are now. Because you guys dance way different to how you were before, and that just shows how hard you've worked. And oh man, damn, that's crazy. Alright.
It is. Another hot topic.
Hot topics. Moving it on. I can't really follow up anything. I'm just gonna say, check out her work if you haven't. Vicky from Venezuela on Instagram.
Woo! Life.
Yeah.
If you could do one thing different on your dance life journey, what would you do? I don't know if you could hear that. I don't know what that was. It's like an inner burp. What would I do? I don't know. I think I might get back to you in a couple of years.
Yeah.
With this one.
Perfect.
As for now, I mean, there's so many places I've been and so many things that I've now been like, that was a waste of time. But kind of to some point it wasn't really, because I am here because of that. However, if one thing that I would, and that I am aiming to do from now on, is just making sure I'm working on myself as much as I'm working on my dancing. The human, me. Because they go together, you know? And for so long, I've prioritized dance and left myself behind. Because to some extent, dance does help me with my human self, but that one needs to be the priority. And it'll benefit my dance as well.
Yeah.
So making sure that my human side is like good. I'm good. I'm happy with myself. The way I feel, the way I look. All those things before my dancing self. Yeah. I think that's the one I'm going to leave there. So I don't rebel. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Let me mix it up. Okay. Here? Yum.
Sorry.
Matt, you're good. Okay. Teaching. Help me out. When what?
When is it appropriate to teach, and who do you think can teach?
Oh.
Yeah.
This is a thing that I've, like, my thinking has shifted a lot over the years. There was a time where I only thought, okay, only certain people should teach. Certain people that have a certain status, a certain kind of experience. Pretty much everyone that's dancing in the industry, if you ask me like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, I'll be like, it's okay for them to teach. They should be teaching. They're the ones out there. Then there was a time where I was like, I think I have something to offer.
Yeah.
And I think everyone has something unique to offer. It's about unlocking that. Then it came to that time where I realized, wait. Yes, we all have something to offer. We are completely unique human beings. However, it is very important to know where you're getting your inspiration from, where you're getting your techniques from. And I realized that I was teaching things that I didn't even really know. That sounds so... But like, I was just being inspired by the people I was learning from, but these people don't really have the technique or even know where they're getting their inspiration from. And especially when it comes to choreography, we all know that our main inspiration is hip-hop and street styles.
Yeah.
And we just don't know anything. And we are like sort of disguising that under choreography, and it's just not good enough. So I mean, anyone can teach, anyone should be able to teach, but you need to know your thing, you know, and you need to know if you're using a certain kind of music, even if you like it. Okay, why? Where does this music come from? Who's the artist? What are they saying? If it's not a language, you know. What are they singing about? What kind of style of music is this? Okay, where am I'm gonna do a move. Where does this move come from? Like, why do I want to do this move, you know? Do I see it in someone else, or do I actually know? It's about knowing those things, and yeah, like, especially the choreography scene, we're just not doing good enough.
True.
To know where we're grabbing things from. We're borrowing, we're stealing, and it's just not good enough. And I get it, there's a lot of ignorance and lack of knowledge, and I think it relates to what I was saying, like, because we're here in New Zealand, so away from a lot of the things, you know, we don't really know. So we just grab things and we don't know the context or the cultural context or the political context behind it. because we don't need to. Like, there's no need. New Zealand is a relatively a safe place, a comfort zone. It's a box. Like, you know, it's a small country, safe. There's no need to like be really woke in a sense, and that happens with dancing. Like, what's the need? You know, you've never been affected by it. You never know. You don't really know, because we are privileged here to be in this country, in this environment. And if you don't have to be bothered, why bother? So you just do whatever you want. You pick the song that someone did, you pick the move that someone already did, and then you just don't bother. So, I mean, and also when it comes to teaching, like, being able to talk to people, to communicate with them, putting yourself to the same level as your student, that's a whole nother skill as well. So until you're confident about that, where your inspiration's coming from, what can you offer, how to treat people, then make sure you have those things before you teach. Yeah.
Solid answer. It's so cool hearing you talk, because I think the exact same way about the whole, we're so separated from everyone, and that's like, it's such a privilege to actually not have to think about like some of the things that we should be thinking about. And like, the thing is, like, we're honestly so lazy. I feel like if you don't study a street style, or if you didn't start off a street style, you're so lazy at dancing. Or like, you just don't bother to research. And there's so many resources out there from like people that have started the style, or that are online and available to you. Yep. And it's just like one click away, but people are like, alright, never mind. Let's see, Brian Bruce posts. Or...
it's very accessible. It takes some time, but if you want to and you're passionate about it, then you should be doing it. For sure. Be doing that research, putting in that work. Before I started my reggaeton classes, I knew this was, because I teach my reggaeton choreography classes every Friday at OnBeat, and before I made those, I had to make sure I knew what I was getting into. And that meant, okay, I grew up listening to reggaeton, which is how you say it, as a kid, you know, that is like Latin, like, staple, you know, we especially because when I grew up is when it was like popping and it was booming. But then I came to New Zealand and people were calling reggaeton something else, and I was so confused. I was like, this is not what I grew up listening to. But I believe that people here knew what they were doing. Like, if I was in Notorious and they were teaching me a reggaeton set, that doesn't, like, the music and the movement was nothing to what I like listened to growing up. I trusted that they knew what they were doing. And then I was like, wait, what? So I had to, it was one click away, you know? Look into it. Reggaeton's nothing what people call it here. It's something that started in Jamaica. Another thing we stole from black culture, you know? And it has its own history. It's not even a dance style, you know? It's a music genre that you dance to. It doesn't have a movement vocab. And I had to make those things. I did my research. This is what I know because I grew up listening to this. I grew up in that community. If anyone should be teaching it, it's me, you know? I can spread the word. I can be the one to educate people and spread that knowledge. And, I made sure that what I grew up and what I knew was aligned with the actual history, made those connections, and then, I'm ready to teach it now. And I make sure I put that choreography term next to it, because you're not going to come to a class and learn any foundation from me, because there's no foundation to reggaeton, because it's not a dance style. It's music you dance to. It has a lot of influences from different things. So I explain that, you know, and I do that in my choreography. But I had to make sure I knew that before I went into it. And that's what everyone should be doing. Yeah. No.
Honestly, if you haven't already, just follow her on Instagram, bro. One click away. She knows all this. She's got this knowledge, man, and you guys aren't clicking. You guys aren't clicking, man.
Okay.
Oh, like her Facebook page too.
Oh, I did make a Facebook page. Oh, okay. Dance.
Sorry, my handwriting is horrible. Sorry.
I am quite terrible.
Oh, dance. Thoughts on cultural appropriation and dance.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cultural appropriation. Again, I think before starting anything, it's making sure cultural appropriation is defined. So for me, it's just borrowing from another culture that's not yours, and you benefit from it. Yeah. That is what it is to me. And we do this a lot in dance.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons is because dance is not often seen as a culture itself. And I think dance is, like I said, it's political. If we think about dance like back in the day, you know, like back, like, you know, it was spiritual and sacred for people. Like if you think about indigenous practices, like dance is cultural. And we've been borrowing from a lot of cultures for so long. And like, yeah, especially when we think about it in a Western context, colonization, etc. It's all about borrowing and benefiting from it. And it's about picking what you like. You pick the aspects from a certain culture that you want to, you grab them. It's like sort of like you're shopping and you just grab what you want. And okay, this is what I'm going to use to benefit me. The things I don't like, they're bad. Those things are terrible. And that's exactly what we do with Black culture, you know? We've been grabbing from them for so long. And the things we don't like, we're like, no, that's bad, you know? Like, one of the examples I always bring up is like the whole braids thing, you know? For so long, like, braids, like, for if we think about like African culture, you know, for some people it was a way to identify like what tribe you belong to, or like this, I think the status as well of like a woman, if like she was married or single, kind of those things. Like they were used for something, and that was looked down on until it became a popular thing. And okay, we're gonna borrow that because we like it now. Yeah. And you have now everyone using it with no meaning whatsoever, just because it looks cool. Which is fine, like, but not fine, you know? And we do this with hip-hop, and we do this with street dance styles. We borrow from them. And that is cultural appropriation when you're not aware of it, you know? When you are not aware that you are stealing from something that is not yours, and you're not, like, paying justice to it. Like, I've been to classes, and even myself before I realized all this, I would teach a move and be like, okay, this thing, it's the move. But it has a name and a cultural context behind it.
Yeah.
And it's certain moves have been so watered down that, you know, the original essence of it has just been like completely washed out. And it's sad because it's stealing. And that's just not, it's just not good because it sucks. Like, imagine you having a whole culture and being treated like absolute crap. Is crap a bad word?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay. For years, generations, and then all of a sudden people just want to take the only thing you have that has gotten you through life and not give you any credit for it, you know? That sucks. Like, how many, you know, the OG, like, hip-hop dancers, street dancers that, like, have started this, how many of them don't actually get any credit for what they do, and other bigger names are, like, the face of hip-hop. and not them, just because they have artists on their list or the blue tick next to their name on Instagram or thousands and millions of followers. It sucks. And that is cultural appropriation, and it's when you're not aware of it. And if you're not aware of it, then that's your fault, and you need to sort your life out.
Especially for the OGs back in the day as well. Or like anybody that was dancing back in the days, it was hard back then, man. You're getting ridiculed.
It's political. It's political, like being them, like in a hip hop and street dance setting, like it was wrong. Just being them, like dancing, all of that. That was wrong. It was looked down on back then. And then even with reggaeton, like when I looked into it, because this was it was happening at the same time as the hip hop movement. It was looked down on, and like it got to a point where you could get arrested for listening to reggaeton music, you know, and it was the same for hip hop, and now because it's mainstream and it's popping, it's okay and safe for us to do it, but it wasn't back then. And we are the ones, you know, a lot of them are dead now, and they didn't get to benefit from it at all. You know, they just got to experience it underground on the street because that was the only thing they could do to be happy. Like that's what got them through life, and they die, and we are the ones making money from it, you know. And we're the ones that get to enjoy it, and we can say out loud that we do it and proudly. And they didn't, and that sucks. So it's being aware that you hold that privilege, and acknowledging your sources and the people that inspire you, your mentors, etc., etc. And then you're good. Like it's good. You can do your thing. Yeah. Is that the question?
Yeah, I mean the question is whatever it turns into. Like, we don't have to answer the question word for word, but something that really opened up my eyes to like how dance is political is do you remember when Mr. Wiggles came here?
I didn't take that class.
Oh, you didn't? Oh,
because I was too caught up teaching in a place that I wasn't supposed to be teaching. Exactly.
So Mr. Wiggles came here, and he was actually saying like some of the OGs that he used to dance with, like some of them just ended up back in prison, or they ended up like dead, or just they didn't get the profit, bro. They're gone, you know. Yeah. Because it was a real thing back then.
It sucks.
It does.
And that's the thing. They're gonna keep dying and going, and if we don't make sure we're passing that word properly, then it's gonna go with them. And we're gonna keep doing that watered down, washed out version of what it was. Because I do believe a style can develop and it can evolve. That's good. That's amazing. As long as you always know where it came from. You know, we have new generations, like new things popping up, like even light feet, things like that. It's okay. It's evolving. But it has its inspirations from other things. And it came from somewhere. So it's acknowledging that, and it's knowing that. And it's okay for a style to develop. I'm repeating myself. As long as you know where it came from, you know. Yeah.
Alright,
exactly.
We have a lot of questions, but honestly we're just gonna cut it down to like a few left, just so we can end it and let you go off to practice. So maybe we'll do one more hot topic, and we'll answer a viewer question, and we'll.
I hope I pick a good one. Okay. Woo. Does that say coffee?
Sorry.
Life.
Oh, best year of your life and why?
Best year of
Yeah. Out of your 21 years of life, what was the best year you've had and why?
I don't know if this is the best year of my life, but I'm going to... before I came to New Zealand, I lived in a country called Ecuador, which is in South America as well. it is actually where the reason why Ecuador is famous is because it's where the middle of the world is. So where the equatorial line meets the other line. I don't know. Sorry, my geography's so bad. Okay. Anyways, the center of the world is right there. So before I came to New Zealand, I lived there for a year. And that's a year I actually didn't do a lot of dancing because I lived in a really small town and there was no dancing, which was quite like sad. But it's that I got to like know myself in other ways and find other passions and really connect with people, especially because it's a small town, you know everyone, and you make like more genuine connections. And I had good friends and I felt healthy. I was eating good, not like good like I was eating like salads and stuff, but I felt good and looked good, and I was sort of maybe glowing to some extent if you want to think about it. But I don't know if it's the best year of my life, but it was definitely a year, or like, you know those qualities that I'm talking about, like really knowing who you are and spending some time on you and self-care, and like I was into that and I want to apply those things and as I move forward, you know, making sure I feel good with the way I look and the way I put myself in the people I'm surrounded with. Yeah. Sorry. In a burp. So it was, I don't know if it was the best year of my life, but it was a good year. And a lot of challenges and adjusting and adapting. And eventually I made my way here. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's a question. Yeah.
So we finally had a viewer question come in. We've been running dry on those, but you know, ever since Ken's podcast, things have been like looking up for us. So we got a viewer question. Thank you. Shout out viewer. Okay.
Woo!
All right. So this is our last question, and then there's a short segment that we do after, but that's like a few seconds.
Okay.
All right. So there was the Dillies podcast. I love to dance, but I don't have a crowd I fit in with. And it makes dance very hard sometimes. I'm socially awkward, but I still love to move.
Yes.
And learn at class. What can I do to make friends?
Wow.
Whoa, I know.
I can so relate to that. I don't fit in. I don't have anywhere I belong to. I feel it like whoever you are, I feel it like, even if you might look at me and think like, oh, she's so up there or whatever, which I don't think I am at all. Like, I feel it. I have like people that don't turn up. Like, I've had classes where I have no one turn up to my class. Like, I've had a lot of things this year. Like, I know what it feels like to not belong. And I think if you are just a person that goes to classes and that's what you do, there are people that are there that are really genuine. There are other people that are just there to be filmed and selected or whatever, and probably don't want to talk to you or anyone because they don't care.
True. Very true.
It takes, and the socially awkward thing, I get it. I know networking and talking to people, it's hard. Trust me, I don't like doing it. But okay, if there's someone that you've been watching and you think, man, this person looks like they could be my vibe, there's something about their energy that you're attracted to, just take that deep breath, just go for it, and then just do it. Just say hi. And I don't think anyone's going to be rude to you.
Yeah.
They might just not engage in a conversation, and if they don't and you don't click, just okay, it's fine. Try someone else. But there are good people out there, and in classes, it really depends on what class you go to as well. But there are people out there in the community, and you do fit in somewhere. It's also about understanding very well who you are. And if you enjoy dancing, you already share that with everyone in the space, because everyone should enjoy dance. So make that a thing. Just take a deep breath and just do it. And you don't have to, like, there's no rush. Just do it. Baby steps. One person per class. One person every month. Whatever you can handle. And then you'll find, like, that you'll create your own little circle and your own little thing. Yeah. And then you'll build from it. Especially, like, and if you continuously show up and you're there, like, people will know your face and you'll be familiar. Now, if you're going, like, you know, one class and then you show up 3 months later, probably not. But if you're showing, like, people are going to be like, oh, yeah, I've seen you. Oh, you're good. You're dope. And then just, yeah, that's my advice. If there's a class that you like, okay, I like this class. I like this energy. I like the people. Attend to it. Go there to that space and just, I know, I hate that. But it's going to be good. You'll meet some nice people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are definitely some nice people in the scenes. It might take a while for you to find these people. You might have to go to, like, heaps of different classes. But honestly, I feel like here, a lot of the time, people are more shy than you think they are.
Yep.
Like, I feel like the more good they are, the more awkward they are, in a way. Yeah. So just don't be afraid to just say hi. And it's just like...
Yeah.
Just one word, you know?
Exactly. It's good. It's just humans. More humans.
Alright, cool. And that concludes us for today. And we have our last segment, which is called the time capsule. So for this, if you could... There's 2 versions of this question. Okay. The first version is, if you could say one thing... Oh, it doesn't have to be one thing, but if you could say something to the Victoria 5 years ago, what would you tell her?
Oh, that's so cute. I would tell her that she is worthy. And she is beautiful, both inside and out, so cheesy. But mainly that she is worthy of a lot of great things. And I think that would be just, worthy, the main thing. Yeah.
Alright, and if you could say something to the Victoria 5 years from now, or if you have any hopes for the Victoria 5 years from now, like who she will be, who she becomes, or you just want to say anything, like what would you tell her? 26-year-old Victoria.
Wow.
Damn.
I hope that Victoria has ticked off a lot of her goals in her list. And if she hasn't, then don't give up. You are different and you've been through so much to not be, like, make it anywhere. Like, such a unique story, such a unique person. There is somewhere for you. If it hasn't happened. If it has, can I say a bad word here?
Yeah, go hard.
Then bitch, you made it. You are the shit. Yeah. But if not, don't give up. You're still the bitch and the shit. Yeah.
Awesome. Alright, that concludes us for this episode.
Oh, that was so
Thank
fun.
you so much, Vicky, for having me.
Thank you.
You are it was honestly such a good time to kind of just pry at your brain and get to know you a bit, because you have so much to offer, and you know, a lot of the time, you know, you don't get experiences like this where you get to know the dancers you dance with, like right beside, take class with. You don't get to know the teachers that you learn from. You know, there's just so much that is available to you if you just ask. And so thank you very much, Victoria, for your time.
Thank you.
So lovely. I hope we can do another episode soon.
Of course, you're amazing.
You know, this is your time now. You just plug yourself. Any projects you're working on, where they can find you.
Okay.
Yeah.
When's this episode coming out? Like.
Honestly, I've shot like 5 episodes in the last 2 weeks. I don't know what order they're coming out in. But...
Okay. Well, make sure you follow me on Instagram, because that's where, like, my main thing. Vicky from Bean. Very easy to find. Well, the project coming up is the In Your Face battle, but this might be...
Yeah, not
the event
yet.
might have happened, like, already happened. But honestly, just watch out for what I have next. I'll be moving out of Auckland though, but I am excited to do something different. Get out of this big city, save up some money, and work with a community that probably needs me and Antoine. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, I know, because we're moving to a small town, and I think a lot of people are like, oh, why are they doing that? You know? Obviously, because we want to save up and because everything is so uncertain at the moment, it's good to have, you know, especially coming out of uni, to have a job, dance. That's amazing. But yeah, like I said, like I think there's going to be something so rewarding about working with a community that's probably very whitewashed, and to bring it our special spice to it. I think it's going to be good, and it's a community that's going to grow a little bit. So it's not only for us, it's for them too. And we're not going to fade out or anything. We'll still be training and dancing and working really hard. So, yay. That is me. Follow me.
Follow her.
Message me if you want to talk to me. I do suck at replying though. But it's not personal. I just
I just don't like you.
I just
don't like you.
I just generally like suck at replying to anyone, like my mom, anyone. So if I don't get back to you, just be like, bitch, like just can you reply and not be a snob? And I'll be like, you're right. That's very rude. Here I am. Or maybe in person. If you see me in person, please talk to me in person, because online I just suck. In life. In real life. Talk to me.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for joining us this week, guys. We'll see you next time.
Is that clap? No?